on Sports Time Ohio. After taking 2 out of 3 from the Detroit Tigers, the Indians now welcome in the Central Division leading Kansas City Royals for a 4-game series. It all begins tonight right here at Progressive Field. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. You know, Rick, you look back at what the Milwaukee Brewers did early 2000s. They drafted Lorenzo Cain in the 17th round. A year later, they take Michael Brantley in the 7th round, and within a few years, they trade both of them. Obviously, Brantley came here to Cleveland for CC Sabathia. Cain, he went to Kansas City for Zach Greinke, and now those two young outfielders in their late 20s have become two of the best hitters in the American League.
Two stud outfielders right now, as a matter of fact, and Michael Brantley for the Indians, their best hitter. He's the most consistent player that they have. Anytime something needs to be done, it seems like Michael is in the middle of it. He's been hitting the long ball lately. He's been driving in the runs all year. He can hit for average. But on the other side, this guy, Lorenzo Cain, has stepped into the number 3 hole very comfortably. He's coming out, he's hitting home runs. He's a big part of that lineup because now they can hit Hosmer fourth, and they have other guys they hit behind him that drive in the runs. Cain, 312 on the season. You can see 27 stolen bases. He can do it all. And Michael Brantley, 43 doubles. He leads Major League Baseball. These two guys are very good players.
I'm sure there's a little friendly competition with regards to their batting average right now because they played together in the Brewers minor league system. Carlos Carrasco is on the hill for the Tribe tonight. And, Rick, his second start since coming back from the disabled list. They need him to be better than he was last time out against Chicago.
Carlos has had some tremendous starts this year, and you're right, they need him better. But, you know, he coming off the DL, only his second start, he was keeping everything down prior to that DL stint. His ball was moving very well. Hopefully he can get it back and do it because he beat Kansas City twice this season, both times coming in Kansas City. They'll be matched up against Edison Volquez. He beat the Indians earlier, but you can see in 29 starts, the Royals 21-8 in Volquez's start. So it should be a very good matchup tonight.
Well, if the early returns mean anything, the Indians may have already found their right fielder for next year. When we come back, Andre Knott talks about Lonnie Chisenhall and his progress in the outfield. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio.
For an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough.
Yay, beautiful evening here at Progressive Field. Indians, Kansas City Royals getting ready to lock horns over the next 4 nights. And right now we're going to take a look at our great clip of the game from last night. Lonnie Chisenhall, the Indians right fielder, with one of the great plays you'll see.
Wow. That's about as good as you can get right there for a guy that hasn't played out there too often. That's a spectacular play. Good jump, good run at it, nice catch. Getting better and better every game out there, isn't he?
Well, let's go down to Andre Knott with more on Chisenhall's development in the outfield.
Well, maybe that was the best play of the year last night that we saw from Chisenhall. But when he got inside the dugout, they said, hey, that was a little bit of a banana route. Sometimes go straight at it. Chiz looked around and he looked at the guys and goes, really? And they laughed. I think everyone within the Indians organization has been surprised by how he's played out in right field, and it's been a good surprise. But the story that Chisenhall told me, he says when he was sitting down to Columbus, part of the conversation he and Tito Francona had was about 2 guys that are going to be on the field tonight for the Kansas City Royals. Mike Moustakas, the third baseman for the Royals, had to go back down to AAA and kind of get everything back together before he was able to come back here and be the player that he is. But also Alex Gordon, the leadoff hitter for the Royals, who's playing left field now, former first-round pick, played in the infield, moved to left field, and he's become a Gold Glover. We're not saying that Chisenhall will become a Gold Glover, but I can tell you, Terry Francona told him, look, it's okay to go down to the minors if you fix your problems and you can come back a better player. So far, so good for Lonnie Chisenhall in right field.
I'll tell you what, the comfort factor really looks great out there for Lonnie. He looks at home in the outfield.
Sure does.
You know, we watched him play third base, and I got to tell you, when you talk about Alex Gordon, we watched the same thing. I saw him take a ball in the nose here at this ballpark at third base before he went to the outfield. He went down and worked very hard at becoming a good outfielder. He's a great outfielder. Chisenhall, why can't he do the same thing? He could. He just needs games played, that's all. Now he's playing for next year. Can he come back and be the right fielder every day next year? That's the key, every day.
Well, the good news that I think you can speak to is that instinctually he doesn't look like a duck out of water when he's in the outfield.
He looks very comfortable to me, and he's getting better and better. It's just a matter of getting yourself out there, having balls hit over your head. He's got to be tested. He's going to make mistakes, but still, when he goes out there, he's made pretty much every play he's had to make so far this year.
Well, Carlos Carrasco takes the field for the Tribe. He'll be on the bump tonight. And Ned Yost, the man in the middle, his starting lineup for the Kansas City Royals tonight, brought to you by Toyota. Alex Gordon in the leadoff spot. Ben Zobrist will bat second. Then it's Lorenzo Cain, followed by Eric Hosmer, Kendry Morales, and Mike Moustakas. Salvador Perez, Alex Rios, and Alcides Escobar is batting ninth.
Tonight's Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher is going to be Carlos Carrasco. His second start since coming off of the disabled list. Hopefully it's going to be better than the first, where he only went 2 2/3 innings against the White Sox, gave up 4 runs, a couple of home runs, walked 3, and struck out 5. He has beaten the Royals twice this year, both of them coming in Kansas City, once May 6th, the other one June 2nd. He went 7 innings in both those starts, allowed 5 hits in both those starts, and just 4 runs between those 2 starts. So we'll see if he can add to that tonight. The Indians need to get off to a good start. Let's set the Indians defense, brought to you by Ram. Brantley in left, Almonte in center, Chisenhall back and right, Urshela at third, Lindor at short, Ramirez at second, Santana is at first, with Gomes doing the catching.
Jeff Nelson will call the balls and strikes tonight. He's the crew chief. Corey Blazer is at first. Ben May, the second base umpire, and Chris Guccione is at third. Our window systems game time temperature is 73 degrees under crystal clear blue skies.
Yeah, what a nice shot that is. After the weekend we had here with all the rain, I thought you were swimming up here. Yeah.
Well, Saturday and Sunday we were ready to build some arcs.
I saw you had your fins in the locker.
Yesterday it was just cool. Today it's warmed up a little more. It's going to be trending in that direction the rest of the week, it sounds like. Maybe one last gasp for summer.
Why not? Make it an Indian summer. Nice and warm.
Alex Gordon stands in. He's going to lead things off. Back in the leadoff spot. Alcides Escobar had been the leadoff man. He was in that leadoff spot when Kansas City offensively really took off a year ago. But, boy, since the All-Star break, Escobar has been mired in quite a slump. So he's batting ninth, and now Gordon leading off. Gordon swings at the first pitch and drives it to deep right. Lonnie's looking up, and that's gone. One pitch, 1-0 Kansas City. Gordon's 12th home run of the season.
Well, we've witnessed him do that before on the first pitch of a ball game. And he comes right out. And, you know, I was going to say, you were talking about him back in that leadoff spot. That's where he really should be. Escobar did a great job for them for the year and a half he was up there. But he wastes no time jumping on the first fastball. Carrasco grooved it. He was just trying to get ahead of him, and he's too good of a hitter to do that to. And he leaves the yard, so Kansas City playing from in front tonight.
Well, this is not a good trend. The Indians have been outscored in the first inning by Kansas City this year in their season series, 14-4 now. Overall, the Royals have won 7. The Indians have won 5 head-to-head.
That's just the 17th home run given up by Carlos, but I told you 2 in his last start against the White Sox. And that just 2 2/3 innings. Before he went on that DL, he was down in the strike zone. He had great movement. His ball was moving all over the place.
Rick, it's the 26th first inning home run allowed by the Indians this year.
That's been an issue for him this year, no doubt.
That's hit pretty well to deep center field. Almonte backpedaling. And just shy of the track, makes the grab, one away. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. For Carlos Carrasco, location will be ultimately very important. Mike Edens and Volquez get in the strike zone. Don't chase.
Well, he's walked quite a few Indians in his 2 starts. 11 walks in the only 2 games he's pitched against the Indians this year.
Lorenzo Cain, 16 home runs, 68 driven in, 31 doubles. And not far behind Michael Brantley in the American League batting average category.
Just a solid year all the way around, 16 homers.
You know, we've talked about this before, I'm sure, but watching video of Cain before the game, what is it about his swing that he's able to just, it looks like he just leans on his backside more than any other hitter I've seen this year.
I know it. He takes a healthy cut, and it's almost like he's elevating everything, the uppercut swing. You would think when you have a swing like that, you have to pitch him inside.
Yeah, you think about weight transfer. With him, it seems like, nope, I'm going to lean on my backside, and all my weight's going to I don't know how does he transfer the power?
Well, he does. And he hits for average because he will go the other way. See that swing? It's a healthy cut. That's when you don't get cheated. Well, then, you have to change speeds on him, too. You got to keep him honest. See, that one, he caught it late. And that ball was in a little bit. He's just developing. He's getting better every year. He stepped into the number 3 hole this year, and he's really produced very well. It's taken a lot of pressure off other people in the lineup, as has Morales. He's been the guy where you can move him. You can hit Cain third, even though he has 16 RBIs and 68 ribbies, 16 homers. Morales has the 100 RBIs, and he's the solid hitter, switch hitter, behind Hosmer. They've been going through a little struggle here the last couple of weeks. There you go. He went the other way.
Perfectly placed between first and second.
Got to 2 strikes and didn't take that big cut and gave in with 2 strikes and got a base hit going the other way. And watch the swing, how he lets up. See that? He just stayed with it. He didn't take that big power swing. When he gets his opportunities, he'll go for the fences, but that's giving in and taking what the pitcher gives you right there. That's good hitting.
Good effort by Jose Ramirez, but just couldn't get there. Eric Hosmer steps in. Hosmer, another solid all-around season with 82 runs driven in.
This is a guy that's done a number on the Indians this year.
That is hammered but fouled on the right side.
Kansas City's a ball club that, boy, you better locate that first fastball you throw them because they will get after it, as you can see. Hosmer jumping on that first heater. Carrasco, on the other hand, in the first inning has an ERA of 7.20. This is a Kansas City team. They're very aggressive hitters. They're last in the league in walks with 322. They'll get after it.
Upstairs 1-1. As good as the Indians' starting pitching has been all season long, the chink in their armor has been that slow start, that first inning problem, whether it's giving up home runs, whether it's giving up runs in general, but putting their team in an early hole. And it's been particularly troublesome at home this year. Kansas City, they're a ball club just trying to get back on track. Ned Yost's team still a very comfortable 10-game lead in the Central Division, but after going 19-9 in August, they've lost 8 out of 12 in the month of September. Even though they're scoring a lot of runs, their ERA is over 6. Hosmer
Good
cuts
pitch.
and misses, and it's 2-2.
Good pitch on that slider down and in. He was thinking that was a fastball, and watch it. It's coming down. It's bearing in. Good pitch. That was a nice tight slider.
Lorenzo Cain, who singled, is at first.
Oh, he got him.
Got him picked off.
Good job. Good job by Santana giving the one throw. That's the way you run down a base runner. You give it up one time. He ran him right into trouble, got rid of the ball in time, and they're able to tag Cain out as he was going on the pitch. He's been outstanding. He's stolen 27 out of 31. Here comes Santana, the ball in hand. Give it up. Perfect. Well done on the rundown. He was trying to get him to give it up earlier. He didn't do it. He made him commit. And Lindor makes the easy tag.
And so with 2 down, a 2-2 pitch coming to Hosmer. Swung out and missed. He struck him out to end the inning. But Alex Gordon's long ball puts Kansas City on top. The Indians are coming to bat. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Jason Kipnis will lead it off. He'll DH. Francisco Lindor batting second. Then it's Michael Brantley third. Santana, Chisenhall, and Gomes occupy the middle third. Then it's Abraham Almonte, Giovanni Urshela, and
Jose Ramirez.
Edison Volquez is our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher tonight. He is making his team-leading 30th start this year. He's a 32-year-old right-hander. He's made 2 starts against the Indians this year. First time, he only went 3 innings. He walked 6 and gave up 3 runs. They came back and they had a no decision. His second start, 6 innings. He walked 5, gave up 3 runs, but he got the win. They average 5.5 runs of support for him throughout the course of the year. So the Indians are going to have to come out and you figure you have to score, but you have to be patient and make them throw strikes.
We're ready to go now as Volquez will square off against Jason Kipnis. And a first pitch strike. Kip's fallen on hard times, 0 for his last 9 at the plate, and since coming back from the shoulder issue in August, he's batted only .198 over 23 games. Missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That ball's hammered. Deep right center field. Rios watching. It is gone! We are tied at 1 as Jason Kipnis sends one just over the wall in right center field into the bullpen. Gordon led off for Kansas City with a home run. Kipnis returns the favor.
Yeah, the only difference is that Kipnis did it on the 4th pitch compared to Gordon's first. A 1-2 pitch got it down in the strike zone, and he drives it. Had a way to answer. Right back. Boy, that ball was down there. It was like Perez was going to backhand that ball. He smoked it into right center field, and we're back to even. Didn't take long. 4 pitches.
3rd leadoff homer of the season for Jason Kipnis, 5th in his career.
That's only the 13th home run allowed by Volquez this year. Kipnis hits his 8th.
He's hit more than 100 points higher at home than he has on the road this year. So Kipnis has definitely thrived in his home yard.
He picked that ball up off the ground.
Francisco Lindor sends a lazy pop to shallow left. In comes Gordon. 1 down.
Let's check that Royals defense, which is brought to you by Ram. It's Gordon in left field making that play. Kane is in center, Rios over in right. Moustakas at 3rd, Escobar at short, Zobrist at 2nd, Hosmer at 1st, Perez doing the catching.
That's going to bring up Michael Brantley.
Brantley, what a job he's done against Volquez. 4 for 5 in his career.
A little bit low. 1-1. Missed down low with it. 2-1 to count. Way outside. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the 3-1. And Brantley might have swung at ball 4, but he's going to bloop one in for a base hit instead.
Yeah, Gordon playing him very deep in left field, and he was breaking as soon as it was off the bat. Wasn't hit all that hard. It looked like it was off the end of the bat from Michael. Take a look. Yeah, that's borderline. That's a tough pitch to take. But with the big swing sometimes can fool you as an outfielder, and it drops in front of Gordon. So the second hit in the inning.
Carlos Santana will bat with Brantley aboard and one out here in the first now. Upstairs with it, ball 1.
Volk is a guy you can run on. Opposition has stolen 16 out of 20 bases against him this year.
Santana on the year has batted .270 against Kansas City. But in his career, a .317 average with 17 home runs. By the way, the last time we had a game here at Progressive Field in which both leadoff hitters homered to start the game was May 1st. Jason Kipnis for Cleveland, Josh Donaldson for Toronto.
Oh, he was hitting first that game, huh? Donaldson.
The 2-0. Straight up in the air. And it's the shortstop, Escobar, who squeezes it for out number 2. Our stat of the game is brought to you by Buick. Kansas City in their last 9, they've lost 7 of them. They're averaging 4 runs a game, but that ERA is 6.5.
Well, okay, you can see the starters. I mean, look at the bullpen. That's
even
strange
worse
for that. That's the best bullpen in the league, and they're struggling. So that's exactly why they're losing. It's easy to see.
Lonnie Chisenhall steps in with 2 down. Pitch is down and in, 1-0. I suppose if you're going to have a slump offensively, defensively, might as well have it all at one time and have it while you've got a 10-game cushion.
Well, that's been their only downfall this year. They've had the pedal to the metal all year long. They haven't really had a drought. I think their longest losing streak was 4 games up until did they lose their 5th in a row? If they did, it was recently. They had, I think, 3 4-game losing streaks.
Yeah, before this funk began, they had a 13-game lead.
Yeah.
So even after the struggles, they've only lost a couple of games in their lead within the division.
Yeah, their longest losing streak was 4. They've done it a number of times, but never to 5.
Their biggest lead in the division was 14 games. That was on August 29th. I beg your pardon. They were at 14.5 on August 19th. They got the double digits on August 8th, and they've just kind of been in cruise control.
Well, and that's probably what's happening here. September, everybody else is like, the Royals come to town. They want to play you hard because you're the best to beat.
Couple of soft serve singles keep the Indians threatening here in the first inning.
Well, you're going to see Chisenhall get a breaking ball here off the end of the bat, but he gets enough of it to get it into right field. He left it upstairs. So 3 hits in the inning for the Tribe. Volquez realized, he realized that ball was up. It wasn't good bite to that breaking ball.
could have been referring to the way that ball came off Lonnie's bat, too.
Well, that's because he left it upstairs. You get it down where you're supposed to.
He threw it the way he pitched it.
That's right.
He hit it the way
yeah, right. That's all Lonnie's going to say. I hit it like you threw it, pal.
All right, Yan Gomes steps in. Gomes, 11 dingers, 40 driven in.
Well, there's their first 2-out base hit. See if they can get another one here.
On a play to the right. With runners in scoring position, Indians have batted .269 since the All-Star break. That's 39 points higher than what they did before the break. One, bottom of the first, 2 on, 2 out. Pitch inning for Volquez. 12 of those 20 have been strikes. And he strikes him out to end the inning. Pair of solo homers for each team in the first. 1-1 after an inning.
Stay connected with live radio broadcast, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Carrasco delivers a strike over the outside corner to Kendry Morales. The Kansas City DH has hit .293 this year with a team-leading 101 runs batted in.
Boy, what a sign this was. The switch hitter to fit into the middle part of their lineup and protect the younger hitters. You remember he came out and signed late last year? Was it with Minnesota?
Yeah.
Then ended up going to Seattle. That never caught up. But boy, he had spring training. He came back, and what a year he has had. Third in the league in RBIs, tied with Bautista.
Chased one down and in, and Carrasco has his second strikeout, 1 away. Let's go down to Andre Knott. Andre, what's the story as far as Carrasco and the pitch count? He only went a couple innings his last time out.
Yeah, he didn't get out of the third inning in his last start, his first start off the DL. Basically, Tito says he's going to let the game play it out. He won't throw over 100, put it that way. He says, I'm not going to let him throw 100, 115. He goes, and with the rosters expanded, he goes, I've got a bigger bullpen. So probably anywhere from 80 to 100 pitches will be the limit tonight for Carrasco.
All right. Mike Moustakas goes after the first pitch, pops it up on the infield. Urshela backpedaling, calling. 2 down.
One pitch out always helps.
Now Carrasco will face Salvador Perez. Tell you, look up and all of a sudden, Salvador Perez is the Kansas City Royals home run leader with 19. Now, I was about to say he doesn't maybe have the gaudy numbers and stats that some of his teammates do, but he's the unquestioned leader of this ball club. And then I realized he's also leading them in home runs.
Well, he's the big guy that's behind the plate every day, and he is. He keeps this club loose. Good inning.
Carrasco sets him down 1-2-3 on 7 pitches.
Visit Indians.com for tickets.
Bottom third of the Indians' order due here in inning number 2. It will be Abraham Almonte, Giovanni Urshela, and Jose Ramirez. Fouled right back. Abraham Almonte batting .287. He's really done a nice job here at home, where he's batted .312. And all 4 of his home runs, 14 of his 20 RBIs have come here at Progressive Field. The 0-2. He's just another reason, another piece of the puzzle as to why they've played better at home lately.
Yeah, no doubt. They picked it up. Well, he came up, and the first game he had in this ballpark was unbelievable when they acquired him. So you have to feel good about yourself there.
Yeah, 4 for 5 with 2 doubles and a home run his first game. It'll be Almonte, then Giovanni Urshela and Jose Ramirez here in the second. 1-1 our score. Both runs coming on leadoff homers in the first. One by Alex Gordon, one by Jason Kipnis.
Oh, baby.
Just threw his bat at it.
Serve it. He catches it.
Stayed up too long for Kane, 1 away. Arcia in the driver's seat. You don't want to be trailing either one of these clubs after 3 innings because they're 2 of the best. Kansas City 54-8 when they had the lead after 3. The Indians 41-8.
Wow. Kansas City 54 wins after 3 innings now. We're making it a 3-inning game? That's not even Little League. Pretty good numbers, though.
Out of play. Chopped to third base. And Moustakas throws him out 2 down. Up comes Jose Ramirez. Takes a strike. Edinson Volquez has retired 3 in a row after the 2-out single by Lonnie Chisnall in the first. Good changeup. Dropped it in there 0-2.
You know, that leadoff or that home run by Kipnis, he hit one down in the zone, but he made a good pitch to Brantley, who flared one into left, and then Chisnall did the same thing. Just getting it into right field. So starting to settle in, I think, and get a feel for his pitches now.
21 out of 31 strikes for Volquez.
Much better control than we've seen him the first 2 times this year.
Not a play.
He's made 13 starts coming into this game against the Central Division this year, where his record 6-5, 346 earned run average.
Took off with the fastball. 2-2. Bouncing breaking ball hit to third. Moustakas throws him out. Indians go 1-2-3. And we'll go to the third, tied at 1. Alex Rios, Alcides Escobar, and Alex Gordon due up. Alex Rios, a .259 average, 3 homers, 25 driven in. He's got 18 doubles on the year, but you remember early in the year, Rick, he got hit by a pitch against Chicago.
Right.
Broke his hand. He was sidelined for a while.
He didn't even give you a chance to talk about him, did he?
He doesn't like it when people talk about him. He's out quickly. Oh, we've got the next 3 nights to finish the story.
That is true. This is going to be a 4-game series, and he had a couple outs on he only threw 7 pitches last inning, so you love that 1 pitch, 1 out. Bodes well for him later in the ball game.
Alcides Escobar. Well, this guy's worth talking about because, as I mentioned at the top of the telecast, he was so critical to their success a year ago offensively. But, boy, he just has had a tough time offensively of late. So, Ned Yost dropped him down to the bottom of the order.
And you know what? He's probably a bottom-of-the-order hitter. He's not really what you call a leadoff man. You know, and when he went into that spot for him last year, he took off and flourished and did a great job for about a year. And I don't know if you could ask much more. He's pretty much a free swinger.
Yeah, he's one of the toughest guys to strike out because he doesn't give you a chance.
Right. He swings at everything. So that's not really what you would want your leadoff hitter to do.
Yeah, he's only hitting 173 over his last 20 games.
But this is a guy that can get the bat to the baseball. He's a good hit and run man. He can bunt if needed. He's just struggling right now. But when you're down here, this should take some pressure off you down in the number 9 hole. He's an everyday guy and has been since he's been in Kansas City, playing the premium position of shortstop.
Throw it by him. Good. Fastball. That had some run to it. Watch this baby move in on the hands of Escobar.
Here's our Nissan pitch tracker. Watch that ball. This is what Carlos had working before he went on the DL. The movement on his pitches was so good, and everything was down at the knees and below. It was tough to get the ball in the air off of him.
Swung on and missed. Carrasco goes to work on Escobar, and he has 4 strikeouts now, 2 down in the 3rd inning.
Well, you had the 94-95 bearing in on him, and then you throw that slider away at 89. And this is our Circle K slider. Down and away, gets the strikeout. 4 strikeouts first time through the lineup.
Top of the order now, Alex Gordon. Gordon homered on the first pitch he saw. It's the 3rd time in his career he's hit a first pitch in a game for a home run. He's done it twice against the Indians.
Yeah. Corey Kluber comes to mind in Kansas City one game.
Well, he did it off Scott Kazmir. I'm talking about the first pitch.
Okay. I still thought that was the first pitch off Kluber. I guess it wasn't,
Evidently not.
So it was off Kazmir here?
Yeah, in 2013, on September 11th, actually. That comes to us from Mike Pacta, who dug that up for us. This was the first pitch tonight.
Well, that's what you look for when you're a leadoff hitter. Give me a fastball I can handle, and I'll get after it. Well, he got after it and did damage.
He's not the only guy to hit a home run on the first pitch tonight. John Krepop tells us that Anthony Rendon, did we check this to make sure this was right, by the way? Okay. Anthony Rendon of Washington also homered on the first pitch tonight. First time 2 players have hit a home run on the first pitch of a game in the same night since 2004 when Carl Crawford and Mark Kotze did.
He gives us the right information as long as it's not the Indians.
It's a line drive. Base hit in the left field as Gordon keeps the inning alive, and that snaps a string of 6 in a row retired by Carrasco. Well, while we're piling on, let's get on to Andre.
Hey, I can get a stat if everybody else can. You want most leadoff home runs on first pitch of active players? Jimmy Rollins leads with 9. Ichiro has 9 as well. Then Alex Gordon with 7, including tonight's. And Hanley Ramirez has 7 as well. That's the most leadoff home runs on the first pitch of a game amongst active players.
Okay, thanks, Topper.
Welcome back.
Here's Ben Zobrist. He flied to deep center in the first. And now he grounds one right at Lindor. Shortstop throws him out. And we'll head to the bottom of the third, tied at 1. One our score, bottom of the third. For Cleveland, top of the order, Jason Kipnis to lead it off. He got the Indians on the board, tied the game with a leadoff homer in the first. Liner to deep left, back is Gordon. On the track, he makes the catch. So, 1 pitch, 1 out.
You can see these hitters looking for that first pitch to their liking, that fastball, and they're getting after it, both sides.
Each team a run on 3 hits so far as Francisco Lindor makes his way to the plate. Lindor came in batting .331 at home.
Yeah, Lindor has been very consistent.
Well, Rick, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I talked to Terry the other day, and one of the things he said is, usually with a young player comes in, maybe has some success, kind of takes the league by storm, and then the league adjusts.
Yeah.
And it flips back. And Terry said, you haven't seen that with Lindor. They haven't really adjusted to him. They haven't figured out how to slow him down to this point. He said that's been impressive.
Well, it has been. I mean, he hasn't been in our division, we're getting back into it. You're going to see it this month. They'll get to know him. But he's been terrific this year. He's been really consistent. Seems like he's been in all the action. Next year can be a different story. They'll make adjustments to him, and he'll have to continue to make adjustments. But I don't see any reason why he won't.
Well, he draws a walk with 1 out here in the third, and Michael Brantley is coming up.
First walk.
Brantley singled his first time up. For Volquez, this will be his 40th pitch. And it's down and in, ball one. A little lob toss over to first, chases him back.
You know, that first time through the lineup, I haven't seen really any drastic changes for this Kansas City defense against the Indians offense. You know, as far as shifts go, maybe if anybody, Santana, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Little change up there. Told you, Brantley, tremendous numbers against Volquez. Now 5 for 6.
Yeah, he takes a strike. It's 2-1. Outfield has shifted a little bit for Brantley. Rios playing him the pole and right. Kane shading him a bit toward right center.
This is a great outfield. They've got a lot of range out there with those three. Kane covers as much ground as any center fielder. Rios over and right. We've watched him for years. And Gordon, Gold Glover out there.
Lindor takes off. He'll go easily in the second around. And hold there as the ball hit the backstop and came right back to the catcher, Perez.
Talk about picking the right pitch to run on. This ball, Michael Brantley had to skip to get out of the way. Held on to this breaking ball. I almost thought it hit Brantley. There's nothing Perez could do, but when you're taking off, there's no throw, and Lindor realized it. He took a peek in, which you should do. Good base stealers do. So he gets himself in scoring position, and Brantley has a 3-1 count.
The pitch. High and foul and out of play. Ed Yost anxiously looking on. Payoff pitch to Brantley. Strike 3 called.
Boy, came in there with a breaking ball, and Michael might have thought it was high. But Jeff Nelson rings him up. Second strikeout. This one will be a call. Let's check it out. See if it's belled high or above.
Oh, I think I see Brantley's beef for sure.
Well, he certainly thought that was out of the zone and high going by, and it looked like it from that angle right there. Looked above the belt, and he said there's no way. Michael doesn't chase bad pitches, so he wasn't going to swing at that one, and he gets it called.
Funny thing is, though, you go back to that first at bat, he did swing at a pitch that was about that high in the strike zone, got the base hit on it.
Remember I said it was maybe too close to take that first time, but he thought that was definitely high.
Carlos Santana trying to get him home. Lindor in scoring position, representing the go-ahead run. A little bit low, 2-0. All of a sudden, Volquez, who was throwing a lot of strikes, that margin has shrunk. 27 out of 47 strikes. And that's why. 9 out of 13 have missed the strike zone.
Yeah, his third straight 2-0 count.
And he might have caught a break, or that clicker should be one more.
Yeah.
Going toward Brantley's way on that pitch that he was rung up on. Three and 0 for Santana with Lonnie Chisenhall next.
How's that, a 3-0 changeup, huh? He knows you like the fastball. And that's the way they pitch nowadays. They don't challenge you 3-0 fastballs sometimes. Santana did take Volquez deep this year. So you get a 3-0 changeup.
And he walks him. So 2 walks in the inning. Injury report brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Kansas City pretty much healthy this year. I mean, tough loss to Tim Collins, a key left-hander out of that bullpen. Jason Vargas, obviously part of that rotation. Wade Davis, though, they don't want to lose him. He has been.
No, they can't afford to lose him.
Is there anybody better? He's the best reliever in the league right now.
Last 2 years he has been. You talk about lights out.
Especially with Greg Holland being a little hit and miss this year.
Well, he was the setup guy last year and was start this year before Holland got hurt and went in and started saving games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started the playoffs right now, that guy would be the closer if he's healthy.
Lonnie rips it to deep right field. Rios won't get it. Short hops the wall. Around third and scoring is Lindor. Santana stops at third, and Lonnie Chisenhall has a 2-out RBI double to put the Indians in front 2-1.
You know, the funny thing is, it's a great job of hitting by Lonnie. He makes him pay for the walks. But Rios played that ball so well off the wall, he threw it into his cutoff man, and Zobrist didn't realize it. He had Chisenhall at second base because he stopped at first. This will be our McDonald's I'm loving it. I don't know if we can see it on this replay. He gets the ball in and goes home, and watch, Zobrist doesn't even look. Chisenhall was, not even a third of the way down when Zobrist received the ball. If he would have went to second, he would have had him. So he just held it. Watch, he'll stop. And then when he sees him throw it behind him, he just never picked it up. Lonnie was waiting for him to throw it. He was looking for it. So good clutch hitting by Chisenhall. Indians take the lead. They make the walks pay.
Well, let's see if Yan Gomes can make it a really big inning now. Indians have scored a 2-out run in 21 of their last 24 games. It's become a key part of their arsenal. Something that was really absent.
No, this is one where Volquez has done a nice job holding the opposition to a 200 average with runners in scoring position this year. Chisenhall got him there, but he was able to get Gomes the first time on just 3 pitches back in the first inning.
The 0-1 to Gomes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gomes went down swinging to end the first with 2 on and 2 out. This time he wants to do some damage. Let's go down to Andre. Andre, is this how you roll? You get a guy to do an interview with you pregame, and then he becomes your personal bodyguard down there?
Give him a little TV time. They
Watch
take care
this.
of you. I know.
Watch
Look at
this.
it. He knows. Now, you know, he only takes care of me for so long, and then after the 5th inning, I'm on my own, basically. that's how it works down here.
Yeah, there's your bodyguard right there.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Mustard. There you go. Mustard and onion.
Yeah.
Right behind
I got all
you.
the ketchup I need up in the booth.
Colonel Mustard in the
and
library
onion.
with a candlestick. Gomes almost took out Santana. Holy mackerel, that ball was scorched.
I'll tell you what, you don't realize when you're down there. Look at, he's flat-footed. That ball would have had him if he wouldn't have been able to get out of the way. I'll bet you he's ready, and this time, this swing, he was lucky.
Moustakas is giving it to Santana right now.
But he's going farther into that coach's box, and he better be ready and crouched.
In the air, but foul, out of play. Perez was set up for the same pitch they threw to strike out Gomes in that first inning. A fastball up and away. That one got a little too much of the plate, and Gomes was able to foul it off.
Well, it comes down to location. It only took him 3 pitches the first time for Yan Gomes, but Gomes lined that ball down the third base line, and he couldn't put that pitch away. They would like to elevate it and get him out upstairs.
And it hit the ground.
Yeah, he said hit the plate, which it did. He was right. Good call. He was right on it.
Perez was trying to get it out and get into the dugout.
He didn't say a word. Watch this ball. Looked like it hit the plate. Just in front, or right back. It did hit dirt. Good call. Jeff Nelson saw it all the way.
Yan Gomes gets a reprieve. In the air, center field. Kane comes in and makes the catch. But the Indians take the lead on a 2-out RBI double by Lonnie Chisenhall. It's 2-1 Cleveland after 3. We're happy to be joined in the booth now by Roy Mavis, the Secretary of the Navy. Welcome to Progressive Field. I understand this is the last of the Major League Baseball parks. You've visited them all now.
And I've thrown out first pitch in every
all 30,
one.
yeah.
Yep. And it's one of the ways we connect to the American people, because the Navy and Marine Corps are America's away team. We never get a home game.
That's a good point. And I read where, visiting 30 Major League Baseball stadiums can be maybe a little daunting, but you've been to, 140 different countries, visiting military personnel, Navy and Marines all over the world.
I go see them where they are, where they're deployed, instead of waiting in the Pentagon just on the off chance they may come see me. But I get the best. That's the best part of my job, is going to see these sailors and Marines forward deployed I mean, today we've got 100 ships a long way away from the United States with sailors, Marines, standing the watch so we can do stuff like this.
And I understand that one of the new Navy warships will have a little baseball flair to it.
Yeah, we've got, I get to name all the Navy ships, which
That's
is
a pretty cool part of the job.
That's a great job right there.
It's a wonderful part. Of course, you get about 100 suggestions for every one you name.
I'm sure.
And this July at the Hall of Fame, I named the USS Cooperstown.
Love it.
That is great.
And it's because 10% of the Hall of Fame served in World War II.
Yeah.
And I did it for Bob Feller and Jerry Coleman and Ted Williams and all those that took time out of the heart of their career and defended our country.
Lorenzo Cain goes down swinging as Carlos Carrasco continues to roll. That gives him 5 strikeouts on the night.
Now, were you always a baseball fan?
I grew up Cardinals fan. I'm from Mississippi.
St. Louis, did you really?
Yeah.
So St. Louis was your team, huh?
Well, it was the only Southern team at the time.
Right.
And my dad drove me to St. Louis when I was a little boy to watch Stan Musial play because he thought
was
he
my
was
idol.
The greatest player that had ever been.
I agree.
But then I went to school in the Boston area and became a Red Sox fan in the '75 series.
I remember that one very well. A great series against the Cincinnati Reds.
Only lottery I've ever won. I got to go to 2 games.
Yeah,
sent in a postcard and got drawn.
Very cool.
In Boston, you attended 2 of those games there.
Yeah. And I got to see in Boston in '99 the highest scoring playoff game ever between the Indians and the Red Sox.
That's one we wanted to forget.
You got to score 12 runs.
Yeah.
You ought to win those.
I think John Valentin hit a ball that's still going over the Green Monster somewhere.
Oh, goodness.
Well, and I want to thank the Indians organization because in terms of the way they've treated our wounded warriors, our veterans, our active duty, they have been terrific.
Francisco Lindor throws out Eric Hosmer. 2 quick outs. And, of course, as you know, we're very partial here in Cleveland to Bob Feller. And Rick and I had known Bob for years and got very close to him. And we loved listening to him tell stories about his time in the United States Navy, obviously throughout his Major League Baseball career. But he was probably more proud about his time in the Navy than anything else.
Without a doubt.
At his Hall of Fame induction, he was asked what his most memorable victory was. He said World War II.
Yeah. Yeah.
He joined up 2 days after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, the USS Alabama. He was platoon. It was on. We heard the stories down at Fantasy Camp a number of times.
Did you hear the story about when Nimitz came on board the Alabama in Pearl Harbor and said there was going to be an Army-Navy baseball game and asked Feller to pitch, and Feller refused. He said, I did not join the Navy to pitch. I joined the Navy to fight. Bob Lemon pitched instead.
And that, for anybody that ever didn't get a chance to meet Bob Feller, that tells you all you need to know, because that was Bob. He was very strong. He was very
dedicated
in his convictions. If
Yep.
he felt strongly about something, you weren't going to change his mind because it was
Right.
maybe the way the wind was blowing.
Well, you've got a great Bob Feller exhibit here.
Yes.
And we're fortunate to be able to present the Bob Feller Act of Valor Award. And we just I just announced the Jerry Coleman Act of Valor for the Marines.
Nice.
Oh,
Jerry
that is
Coleman,
nice,
Yeah.
right?
Jerry Coleman flew in both World War II and Korea
Right.
for the Marines. So we honor a chief or a sergeant, and we honor a current major leaguer, and
Every
we honor
year.
every year, and we honor somebody who served, who played in the major leagues and served. We've done Tommy Lasorda and Yogi Berra, both of whom were offshore during D-Day.
Terrific. Now, we know the Feller is at the end of the year. It's around November, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where they present that award. And there's a nominee for each team, each baseball team. And when is the Coleman Award? Is that given at the same time?
This is going to be the first year.
Okay.
Because I'm in charge of both the Navy and the Marine Corps. I thought the Marines needed some recognition there,
Sure.
too. And we're going to do the same thing at the same award ceremony.
Okay, good. Great time to do it.
0-2 pitch to Morales upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. How do you keep track of the men and women all over the world that are under your care, so to speak?
I've got about 900,000 people that
Wow.
that report up through me. And, you know, as I said, we've got 100 ships out there today. We've got Marines in more than 30 countries right now, just engaging, keeping the peace, training people. And we give them the hardest jobs. We give them the toughest assignments. And down he went.
Morales strikes out to end the inning. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate your time and all that you do for our country.
Appreciate it.
Roy
Thank you.
Davis, Secretary of the Navy, with us here tonight.
Oh, no.
Indians
Thank
lead the
you,
Royals 2-1. Oh, man. Thank you.
What an interesting guy, huh?
Yeah. That's not a job that, for the faint of heart.
900,000 people under his care. Hey, Dad.
Whew. He's been in 140 different countries.
Surprised he had time to stop by as busy as he is.
You wonder
I
sometimes.
mean, I saw him coming into the ballpark today. It was about 3:30, a little before 4 o'clock, meeting with Jim Folk and all the people. He's been around. He's been on the field. He was talking to Terry Francona. A lot of the ball players went to both sides, talked to Ned Yost. Got to see everybody. He has been nonstop.
As much as we travel, I know this has to happen to you. You wake up sometimes, you're like, where am I? You know, how many times are you supposed it happens to him?
Oh, it's all the time. Maybe he has people around him to tell him where he's at, where we don't.
Almonte flied to center in the second inning. Edinson Volquez, just over 60 pitches on the night, delivers. And Almonte flies the ball to center. Lorenzo Cain gallops over. One away.
Not the guy you want to fly it to.
Well, Carlos Carrasco, Rick, has really bounced back after that rough start against Chicago. He looks like the Carrasco we've seen most of this year.
Yeah, he settled in after that first pitch. I'll tell you, that might have set off a wake-up call, because he has been throwing some nasty pitches up there. A lot of movement, great slider tonight. And it's a nice little streak he's got going.
Yeah, even with the short outing, 2 2/3 against the White Sox, he still managed 5 strikeouts.
Yeah. Good breaking ball. Had Urshela bailing there.
Giovanni Urshela grounded out to third in the second inning. He hammers this baby deep left field. Gone to Souvenir City. Gio sends one to the bleachers, and the Indians' lead is 3-1.
Yeah, he buckled him with the breaking ball. He came back with a fastball, and Urshela was waiting on it and made him pay. His 6th home run. Second home run by the Indians tonight. This will be our Yellowwood bringing the lumber. Boom. Fastball down and hit. And look at Volquez realized that one's not coming back. The Indians make it a 3-1 ball game.
I've heard many a pitcher say, I didn't necessarily see where the pitch ended up in terms of location, but I heard the contact and I knew it wasn't good.
Well, he just put his head down, and you're right. Sometimes I think when you let the ball go, you realize you might have made a mistake.
Watch the Volquez reaction.
It was a fastball. Oh, boy. He knew it. He didn't want to look up. I think he looked up to see how far it was going to go.
Yeah, that was no cheapie. That ball was really hit hard. It's 370 to the base of the wall, and that was about, I'd say, a quarter of the way up. Not quite halfway.
He hit it well. He hit it well.
Shoots it foul.
I want to send along a happy 50th anniversary to some friends of ours, Rick and Mary Sedlicek, former fantasy camper.
I think Mary was a favorite fan, too.
Yes, she was. Always there. Happy 73rd birthday to Beth McKenzie. And we have to send out a belated birthday to Ed Nozier, who's a big fan from Lakewood. He's turning 90. That was September 9th, and I just got it, Ed. So happy birthday to you as well.
Look out. Sandy ducked, and that
guys
got into
ducking
the
all over the place tonight.
Ramirez goes down swinging. 2 down. Well, if you look at the consecutive starts of having at least five or more strikeouts, Bob Feller did it 37 straight times.
Wow. You figure those are the two names anytime you talk about strikeouts is Feller, McDowell. Of course, Tiant's always up there. McDowell a few times.
Big curveball, drops in for a strike. And a hard hit ground ball right at the second baseman, Zobrist. And that'll end the inning. But Giovanni Urshela sends one to the cheap seats, and the Indians are on top 3-1. Mattress, located in all Live-In Furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T UVerse, has more channels on the go than cable. We roll on to the 5th inning. Mike Moustakas, Salvador Perez, and Alex Rios due up for Kansas City. That's blistered foul. Wow. That guy threw his hands up. He was about 2 seconds too late.
it was sort of by him.
Yeah. Chased it down and in. That's been a good combination.
Yeah.
Get ahead with a fastball, hammer down and in, and these Royal hitters have been unable to lay off.
They're cheating for that fastball, and you see they're getting ready for it. They're ready for it. They're pulling it foul, and then he comes right back with a good slider. And he's burying it down and in. 7-0-2, 1-2 counts today for Carlos.
Went back to it, but Moustakas lays off this time. Back to the screen.
See, that was 97 down and away, and he was still able to get to it. So that tells you they're geared fastball, man. That was 2 strikes. That was a great pitch, but he did a nice job of spoiling it. There you go.
Swung on and missed. He strikes him out. That's 7 Ks for Carrasco. 1 away in the 5th.
Well, you get that slider again. Here it comes. Watch it go down in, and he'll swing over the top of it. Here it comes. There he goes. A tight spin. He just can't stay back on it. You want to get the barrel head of the bat out, and it's too late to check it.
Carrasco pours a fastball in there. Salvador Perez down swinging his first time up. Missed in tight. So far, Carlos has thrown 40 out of his 54 pitches for strikes. Oh, beauty. Watch this breaking ball.
Yeah.
He just gives up on it.
Well, you have to, because all of a sudden it's breaking now, and it just drops out of the zone. That's electric.
Up the middle, Lindor cuts it off, gets up, throws! Not in time.
Oh, great effort.
Tell you what, he went a long way up the middle to get to that ball, had to get down in the dirt, get up, throw, and still made it a close play.
Well, he knows Perez, he doesn't run well, and he knew he had to get up quickly because of the distance he had to cover to get this ball. It's right up the middle. He was playing him over more, and he realized, I got to get up in a hurry and get rid of it. It's a great effort. Just a great effort. You're not going to get him. He gets an infield single. But, boy, he did everything in his power to try and get him. So it goes infield single. 4th hit now for the Royals.
Alex Rios.
This is a guy here, as you mentioned, after he was hit by the pitch, came back and started playing very well, and then what happened? He gets the chicken pox. One of the 2 guys on the Royals that got it and put a damper on him for a little bit.
He only missed 8 games. I would have thought that would have knocked him out for a couple of weeks maybe.
It's like everything. Everything, you heal quicker now. They can do things.
Yeah.
You know, normally you would think that. You're right. A couple of weeks. But when this guy is playing well, he's still a very good player.
To third, could be 2. Urshela to second. There's one on to first. Double play. They go around the horn. 5-4-3. Tribe turns 2 to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Cleveland 3, Kansas City 1.
Well, they've been able to get one in 3 of the first 4 innings. This is the time of the game you love to keep adding on here, especially against a team like Kansas City.
Missed outside. 2-0.
It was the Lindor walk that he was able to come around and score because of Chisenhall's 2-out double. He had 2 walks back in the 3rd inning. We made him pay.
All of a sudden, it's 3-0.
Remember, 6 walks his first start against the Indians, 5 walks in his second.
Just did catch the top of the zone. Out of play. Michael Brantley waiting on deck. 3-2 count for Lindor. And it's ball 4. His 3rd walk. Let's go down to Andre, who has more on Edinson Volquez, who's been fighting his mechanics a little bit here lately.
Yeah, he's had a big fight with his mechanics. He's kind of gone back and forth on good starts, bad starts. But he goes, I hope to continue to do what I did in my last start and be more consistent. He thinks his windup was too long. He said he was almost stretching too much when he was trying to release the pitches, and they were leaving it up. So he's had to close his windup a little bit. He thinks that's the mechanic that was bothering his pitching.
Yeah, he and Island felt that they had it all worked out, didn't he? He was going to carry it into this start. He was hoping to.
Dave Island's had his hands full.
Boy, has he ever.
Johnny Cueto has been really fighting
There
his
you
mechanics. Michael Brantley lines a ball into left field, and the Indians have their first 2 on here in the 5th.
Wasn't going to let him get to 2 strikes that time and leave it in the umpire's hands, so he just lined a base hit. Michael now 2 for 3. Going the other way. There's a fastball down out over the plate. He takes advantage of. Brantley loves the ball down. Nice stroke. 6 hits and a good start to the 5th.
Carlos Santana will be the batter. He's 0 for 1. Started him off with a breaking ball for a strike.
It's almost like a curveball.
Yeah, sure was. Slowed it down to 79 miles
yeah,
an hour.
I mean, he put a little more hump to it, slowed it down. His changeup's about 84. He can tighten it up, I'm sure.
And it looked like a changeup away. 1-1. Indians up 3-1, threatening to maybe blow it open now here in the 5th with their first 2 aboard, nobody out. Again, a slow curveball, and Santana with a big swing comes up empty. Out goes Perez. Got some stirring, some guys moving around, stretching in that Kansas City bullpen. Nobody throwing at this point.
You know, that's, out of habit. Those guys that come in around the 5th or 6th inning, a lot of times they're getting loose, going through their routine. That's on a daily ritual, I'm sure.
And you kind of get the feeling one more hit, one more base runner, and that phone will be ringing to the bullpen.
Yeah, yes, it will. They're real close. They've got them on the ropes here.
But Santana has fallen behind in the count 1-2. Takes it low, 2-2. Everybody shifted for Santana. 3 on the right side of the infield, and the outfield in center and right. They're swung around as well. And again, this is a team historically Carlos has had a lot of success against. 17 career home runs and a better than 300 average against Kansas City pitching. The 2-2. He hits it in the hole. A base hit, and Lindor stops at third. They're loaded up with nobody out. He beats the shift for one of the few times this year by just giving in and taking his hit the other way.
Well, you see, he was maybe sitting on that breaking ball where he got him to swing at it twice, and he takes the fastball the other way. That's great hit. Of course, Lindor can't score because you've got Gordon out there, but it's okay. It's bases loaded, nobody out. And that did ring that bullpen phone. Island comes out to talk to Volquez, and boy, I wish he would do that more. They want to shift like that. You get runners in scoring position. That's just an easy, and you don't have to hit it hard. So they have the bases loaded, nobody out, and trying to deliver a knockout punch here.
Our in-game recap brought to you by your Toyota dealers. This game started with a leadoff home run by Alex Gordon in the top of the first. Bottom of the first, Jason Kipnis hit a leadoff home run. Then after an RBI double with 2 outs in the third by Lonnie Chisenhall, Giovanni Urshela goes deep. And that's where we stand currently 3-1. But now it's Chisenhall with a chance to really break it open. Chris Young getting loose and the KC pin. Lonnie swings and misses at that first pitch.
Good high fastball away. He was laid on.
Chisenhall so far this year in bases loaded situations with less than 2 outs, he's 1 for 2 with a 3-run double. Takes it inside 1-1 the count. Minnesota's jumped out to a 3-0 lead over the Tigers in the bottom of the first at Target Field. The 1-1 out of play. Astros Rangers, they're tied 1-1 in the second. You know, not only is that a game that the Indians are scoreboard watching, but all of a sudden, you know, Texas is only a game and a half behind the Astros in the West.
Don't look now, but yeah, Houston, somebody's breathing down your necks, and these guys got to play a couple of times before the year's over.
Again, bases loaded, nobody out. And the 1-2. And Lonnie shoots it out of play. Lindor at third, Brantley at second, Santana down at first. Volquez steps off the rubber. He's in quite a jam here. Hit pretty well, deep center. Kane will make the catch in the gap. Tagging at third and coming home is Lindor. And the Indians lead it 4-1. Chisenhall with RBI number 37, his second of the night, gets the job done.
Good job staying on the fastball and just taking it the other way. He was trying to get him to pull the ball, but you don't. You get the runner in scoring position, just shoot him the other way, deep enough to get the run home. So they've scored now 4 out of the first 5 innings, and a chance to add on again.
Yan Gomes looks at a ball outside. Well, of late, Volquez has been on an every other start basis. You go back to August 7th, he gave up 1 run. Next start, gave up 6. Start after that, 1 run.
Yeah.
Next start, 6. Then 2. Then the next start, 6. Gave up 2 his last time out. And the Indians already have 4 on the board here tonight.
Well, let's stay with the trend and get 6.
Brantley at second, Santana at first. 1-1 count to Gomes. Right back to Volquez. He goes to second. There's 1. Back to first. Gomes beats it out. Good hustle by Gomes. Volquez may have had taken too much time because I'm not sure, Rick, if he forgot who was covering or if he just saw two guys and froze.
Yeah, he could have been. It was a slow developing play. You'll see him. Usually it's going to be your shortstop covering. See, he looked and hesitated. I don't know if the umpire was in the way, and then here comes the second baseman, Zobrist. So he must have been covering all the way. I don't know if the umpire got in his way.
I think you're right.
Because that's why he hesitated. If he knew all along, I figured the shortstop would be covering, but it was not that way. So I've got to say the umpire. Look at, he's right in second base. He's in line.
That's exactly what happened.
He was. He couldn't throw because the umpire bothered him. He hesitated till he makes sure he saw Zobrist get to the bag. He didn't want to lead him and throw it into center field, which is probably a smart thing to do.
Abraham Almonte fouls that pitch off. Twice he's flied out to center. Chased one down and in, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Almonte is going to have to learn to take. That breaking ball down and in. It looks good, but boy, it's a tough one to hit. He likes the fastball, and I think sometimes you see that pitch start down there and you try and cheat on it. Don't swing at that pitch unless you have to. I mean, you get to 2 strikes.
He wanted the fastball up to get Almonte to chase. He would not. And the count is 1-2. That'll even it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Indians had Volquez on the ropes here in the 5th. They had the bases loaded, nobody out. Sac fly got 1 run in. But now with 2 outs, the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So Volquez minimizes the damage. But the Indians add a run to their lead, 4-1 through 5. Take a look at Carlos Carrasco. He was the Indians nominee for the 2015 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Chevrolet. Carlos has been out in the community trying to make an impact on the lives of Cleveland area kids and students, visiting the Luis Munoz Marin School.
I remember when Andre Thornton won it. He was my teammate. And, of course, we remember when Jim Thome did it back in 2002.
Willie Mays won the inaugural award. But that was before it was named the Clemente Award. It was originally known as the Commissioner's Award prior to 1973. And then in 1974, Willie Stargell won it, who was a former teammate, of course, of the late, great Roberto Clemente. How about the guys that have won it, though? You want to talk about a who's who.
Yeah,
Willie Mays, Brooks Robinson. These are the first guys to win it. Willie Mays, Brooks Robinson, Al Kaline, Willie Stargell, Lou Brock, Pete Rose, Rod Carew, Greg Lazinski, Andre Thornton, Phil Niekro, Steve Garvey, Ken Singleton.
Yeah.
I think you could win with those guys.
Well, you're right. They were great players, but they were also great human beings.
Just missed outside. You played with Cecil Cooper, right?
I did.
He won it?
Yes, he won it in '83.
He did.
Yeah, that's the year I went over.
Traded,
that first year I got traded to him.
Louisiana Lightning won it the following year. That's a foul ball up the third base side. Don Baylor, 85. Gary Maddox, Rick Sutcliffe, Dale Murphy, Gary Carter, Dave Stewart.
Well, it truly is an honor if you win the award because each team gets a representative there. So, there's 30 representatives. And to win it is something very special because you know how great, because you were a Pirates fan of the late, great Roberto Clemente.
The 1-2. Wow, kind of an emergency swing, but Escobar did get a piece of it.
Emergency swing to stay alive. There you go. That ball, he just picked it out of the catcher, out of Gomes' glove.
It was by
That's
him.
to live for one more pitch. So I don't know if he was looking for that slider because he just picked that fastball. It was almost at the back end of the plate.
Swung on and missed. He got him. That's 8 strikeouts for Carrasco. 1 down here in the 6th.
Carlos has had a really good slider tonight.
Time right now for a Mazda game break. Here's Al Pawlowski.
Off to Texas, where good news early for the Tribe as Houston took the early lead here with Jose Altuve and his 12th home run of the season. But the Rangers come back and tie it in the bottom of the 2nd. They're still even 1-1. 3rd inning in Arlington, guys.
All right, thanks, Al. You look at how tight things are in the AL West going into tonight. He checked, but it's a strike. Called. Oh, nice breaking ball. It dropped in over the outside corner. Gordon might have thought it was low, but a well-located pitch. Swung on and missed. Not sure if that was a changeup. It might have been.
It was a hard one.
Or just a fastball that he took a little something off.
Well, that could be. Sometimes you'll see that one. It looked like a changeup, but it was a hard one. It was like 90 miles an hour, so it wasn't as slow as it could be, but it was something off that fastball. But he gets him. He's still out in front and gets strikeout number 9.
Well, and you know what? that makes sense to me because of something you said earlier. When the Royals came out, their game plan was attack and attack early. Gear up for the fastball. So it might not be a changeup, but I'm just going to take a little something off my fastball.
Well, it's still 4 or 5 miles an hour off his fastball as compared to maybe 7 or 8. You know, it's not the great changeup, but it's it's a good fastball. And if you're geared to hit it, boy, you got to get after it.
Right.
And he hit the home run to start the game. He cheated to get it.
Just over 70 pitches for Carlos, 52 strikes.
Sometimes you don't need that 8 to 10 mile an hour off the fastball if you can locate it down there. If you leave it up, it's a little bit different. But, his location has been outstanding tonight. You look at his pitch count. Boy, he has been on. You talk about cruise control. You talk about going deep into the game. You keep that pitch count.
That is efficient. Outside is Zobrist.
It's his first 2-0 or 3-0 count today. That's how good he has been.
He walks Zobrist on 4 pitches after striking out the first 2 batters in the inning.
Well, Carrasco has 9 punch-outs tonight, and 6 times it's coming off that electric slider he has had. And look at the locations, down and into the left-handers. That's same spot to a lefty, but it's the right-handers. They get to 2 strikes and they chase. Everyone has been in the same spot or very close to, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Now Mickey's just going to come out and give him a little breather.
Give somebody in the bullpen a chance to get up, start getting loose.
I don't even think they need to. To be honest with you, you may want to get up and start stretching because this he's been very good.
Might be a just-in-case thing, but they do have, looks like Kyle Crockett's going to start loosening. Lorenzo Cain singled in the first, struck out on the 4th. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. Now Zach McAllister joins Zach Crockett. Kyle Crockett.
Zach. It's a long day yesterday, my friend.
Here's the 0-1. There's a ground ball towards third. It's Bayer Shelley in the left field. And Zobrist stops at second base. So with 2 outs, the Royals try to mount a rally here in the 6th.
Well, it's something you get the first 2 on strikeouts and then 4 straight to Zobrist and then a quick base hit. So got to regroup. Well, you may want to be here for the Tribe's annual Fan Appreciation Night that'll take place Saturday, October 3rd against the Red Sox. The evening will feature Sugardale Dollar Dogs, fireworks, and giveaways as Indians thank fans for the support this year. Just go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Eric Hosmer struck out on the first, grounded out in the 4th. Carrasco in his first real sticky spot of the game. And at least it comes with 2 outs as far as his benefit is concerned.
You're right, Matt. It's not like they're starting the inning off where he had that first walk, but you still don't like to see the walks. That was his first one of the game. But this is where he's really got to bear down and get after this guy. Don't let him get on the board.
A little bit low.
For a starter, you come in, if you're pitching a good game, you have a couple of spots where you need to get some big outs. This is the #1 time for Carlos tonight right here. Because Hosmer's had a good year against the Indians. He's their man.
Almost chased, did not go.
Thought about it. Take a look at the side. He held up. He checked it.
Tying run, Eric Hosmer at the plate. 2 down in the 6th. 2-1 pitch from Carrasco. Just outside, 3-1.
Yeah, I went with a 2-seamer and tried to be a little too fine with it. He's having a little talk to himself.
And he ends up walking another batter to load the bases. A little disconcerting for Terry Francona. What does he do with the switch hitting Kenry Morales coming up?
Let's go, Carrasco. You got yourself into it. You better get yourself out of it right here. He went there. He fell behind. He was nibbling a little too much to Hosmer. He went with 2-seamers when he fell behind in the count and tried to, just paint him. And didn't give in to him, and Hosmer just spit on him. So now you've got the biggest RBI guy on the team, Morales. So again, he's got to come back and make some quality pitches, but don't give him too much credit. Morales has seen 10 pitches tonight from Carrasco. 8 of them have been strikes.
Lindor with a nice pick on the backhand side. Throws him out to end the inning. The Royals leave him loaded. Carrasco gets out of a big jam here in the 6th, and the Indians maintain a 4-1 lead. Wadsworth to kick off conference action in the Suburban League. Join Jeff Phelps, Frank Stams, and Ryan Cavanaugh Friday night at 11 on Sports Time Ohio. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen will be for right-hander Chris Young. He'll be facing Giovanni Urshela, Jose Ramirez, and Jason Kipnis in the 6th. We've seen Young in the starting rotation earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
Made 16 starts. He's 10-6 with a 3.19 ERA.
Big, tall guy. that, doesn't throw hard, but the ball gets on you. He gets away with a lot of high fastballs. He's got the curveball to take you off of the high fastball. 110 innings. He's allowed 15 home runs, but opposition hitting just .211.
Ball one, it's in the dirt to Urshela, who homered to the bleachers and left. Back in the fourth. Well, Rick, Erasmo Ramirez of the Tampa Bay Rays is throwing a no-hitter against the Yankees through 7 innings. The only problem is CC Sabathia has thrown a 3-hit shutout for New York.
It's still a tied game, 0-0, huh?
Fastball down in the zone, 2-2. Twins have added a run against Detroit. They're up 5-0 in the second inning. That's against Kyle Lobstein of the Tigers. Houston, Texas still 1-1 in the third. Urshela pops it up. Slicing into foul ground. And Hosmer has it one away.
Well, the Tribe is still in the postseason hunt, and you can be here for the final push. The Indians will host the division rivals on this homestand through Sunday as they target a wild card opportunity. Visit Indians.com for your tickets. After this homestand, Monday is an off day. They'll head out on the road. They'll go to Minnesota for 3, and then to Kansas City for 3 for their final road trip of the year, and then come home and close out with 7 games. 4 with Minnesota, 3 with Boston.
And Ramirez takes ball one outside. Jose has grounded out and struck out. A little bit high, 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, I remember the last time he pitched against the Indians. Once they got on, they didn't hesitate to run. So that would be a good thing for the Tribe. If they get a base runner here, you can put your running game in check.
See what Ramirez is doing here, 3-1. He's taking, and
there
it's
you
ball
go.
4.
Beautiful. Get on base.
Jason Kipnis is coming up to the plate. I mentioned earlier, Rick, he's been mired in a slump. Got the leadoff home run tonight. Hopefully that's something that'll get him going in the right direction. But as we go down to Andre Knott, that 198 average since he came back from the shoulder injury, what's he dealing with physically right now?
Physically, he's dealing with a little bit of a neck injury. It's not something bad. He probably slept on it wrong. He's been dealing with it for the last couple of days. But he also has some superstition. And I know how ball players can be. All year long, he's had one walk-up song. Tonight, for the first time, he used a different song. And when he hit the home run, he goes, "I'm not going back to the old song." I go, "Kip, it wasn't the song." He goes, "Shut up. Just let me play with it."
Sometimes you got to be a good DJ. Do you have any idea what the walk-up song is, Andre?
I do. Well, he came up to "For What It's Worth" by Buffalo Springfield.
Okay.
And he's going to stick with it, he says.
Well, for what it's worth, he went deep, so that works every time. This was to start the game. Wasn't the first pitch. It was the fourth. But as you said, he went down and got it.
He did, man. That was a 1-2 pitch. That's good hitting with 2 strikes. Sometimes when you're struggling to swing, and, Kipnis is a guy, when you get to 2 strikes, you're just reacting to put the ball in play. But he hit a really good pitch out of the ballpark, so that's got to make you feel good. And it tied the ball game because Kansas City jumped out early on the first pitch of the game. So,
well, then his next time up, he made it out, but he drove the ball to deep left field, put Gordon back on the warning track. Ramirez has the full attention of Chris Young right now.
Well, and they should, because he realizes that the last time he pitched against the Indians, they stole 5 bases. And he knows they're going to put it in. They're winning. It's middle part of the game. If you get a jump, I would run. You've got Ramirez who can steal a base, no doubt. Stolen 9 out of 12. Look at that, 17 of 23. 1 pickoff, and that's probably because they're cheating to go, but you don't have to cheat.
Kipnis had a pitch right there, and he fouled it back. It's 0-2.
Well, and what he's doing, that's he cut it down for a 6'10" guy to cut down his stride. He's getting the ball to the plate in 1.3 seconds, which is major league average. If he was to lift his leg and try and get a little something more on a pitch, it's 1.5. So he's cutting it down a little bit, knowing that you have a base stealer on.
Kipnis shoots one to left. That might stay
yes,
fair.
It is.
You know, it just went foul and hops up into the seats after it hit the track.
That was close. You're going to see it slicing just foul. And right now that I think about it, if I'm Ramirez, I wouldn't try stealing on this pitch because it's an 0-2 count. This guy throws a lot of high fastballs, so he can stay up there and make it like a pitch out, you know, for Perez, who's got a great arm and can throw. I don't think you're going to see a curveball or something to take him off the high fastball yet. That may come later if Kipnis can work his way deeper into the count.
Popped him up on the infield. And Kipnis slams his bat in frustration at home plate. 2 down.
He did come with a curveball. He popped it up, and you can see the frustration. So off the end of the bat, it was already cracked, and he just finished it off.
Now, nobody's harder on Jason Kipnis than Jason Kipnis. He beats himself up over every perceived misstep he takes. Let's see if Francisco Lindor can deliver now with Ramirez at first. Pops it up, foul, out of play. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen Ramirez attempt to steal.
Well,
yet.
early he's taken off and he's taken pretty good, jumps in the first 2 steps, but he just holds up.
There he goes. Throw down. Good throw.
Tell you, that's why Perez has got a cannon. He made a great throw.
6 in the books. Cleveland 4, Kansas City 1. strikeouts in 6 innings tonight.
Well, and he's gone about it different ways. Primarily, the slider has been his strikeout pitch. He has 6 on the slider, a couple on fastballs, 1 on a changeup. There's the fastball. But the slider's been the pitch du jour for him today. Lefties and righties chasing after it. Carlos dynamite in that second start since coming off the disabled list. A solid 6 innings tonight, 5 hits. Gave up a run, a couple of walks. That run came on the first pitch of the ball game. 9 punchies. So he was back to where he was throwing it earlier. He had 15 swings and misses tonight.
Well, McAllister will face Mike Moustakas, Salvador Perez, and Alex Rios here in the 7th. First pitch in for a strike. Down in the dirt. Popped him up, might be playable here.
It is.
And Combs makes the grab right up against the screen in the on-deck circle for out number 1.
He stayed with it. He gets over there. He realized he was getting close, but catches it right before he gets up to the top of that railing there over the Diamond Suites. That's a nice first out in foul territory, keeping the leadoff man off base.
It's going to bring up Salvador Perez, who's 1 for 2 with a single. Line drive, base hit into center field.
There's one guy that you can't throw hard enough to get it by him.
Time for another Mazda game break. Here's Al Pulaski.
Hey guys, Yankees and Rays tonight at the Trop. Bottom of the 7th inning. It is scoreless, but the story is Erasmo Ramirez through 7. He has a no-hitter going. 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Let's see if the Rays can get him a run and maybe get him a win, fellas.
Yeah, CC Sabathia, though, is shutting out Tampa Bay on just 4 hits. Minnesota putting it to Detroit 6-0. They're in the 3rd at Target Field. Blowing away. Ball 1 to Alex Rios, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Rangers Astros still tied 1-1 in the 4th. Down in Arlington. Two balls and a strike. Hit in the hole and a base hit. So the Royals are not getting cheated on that fastball from McAllister. Perez line 1 to center. Now Rios bounces 1 into left. And 2 on 1 out for Alcides Escobar.
That's why I felt that first out was so big in foul territory, and that fastball's up a little bit, and he gets it in the right spot. Top spin, but it gets through. So back-to-back singles yesterday. It was Zach having the problems with throwing strikes. But this is a big out for him right here. The number 9 hitter, guy that's been struggling. Because you're rolling it back over to some left-handers coming up. Gordon.
Outside, he missed. Ball 1. Brian Shaw getting up, getting loose. Carlos Carrasco, by the way, went 6 innings tonight. 1 run on 5 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Only made 82 pitches. Now, Andre told us at the outset that Terry Francona wasn't going to let him go, more than 100 tonight. But
where was he? 80?
He was at 82. So
okay, 82. That's fine.
All I can figure, Rick, is that he had to work so hard to get out of that 6th that maybe Terry felt like he had reached the end.
No, well, obviously he felt he wasn't going to go again. But 82 pitches. He was throwing the ball great tonight. He had a 2-out walk, and then they got a couple of knocks. But man, he was still throwing very well.
Now Mickey Callaway sensing that McAllister is struggling right now. He's behind the number 9 hitter Escobar 2-0 with already 2 on base.
Well, that's what happened. He got in trouble yesterday when he had the bottom part of the lineup at the Tigers and walked him full before he came out. Today he gets into the stretch. He gives up a couple of hits, but now you fall behind. This is the part of the order you got to get. That's why they brought him in. That's why I feel Carrasco, he was coming in, he would have hit the bottom part of the lineup.
Now McAllister's got to throw a strike here to Escobar. And Escobar's, for all his struggles, he's still a good fastball hitter.
Well, when it comes down to it and you get in situations, most guys like the fastball. If you can't take them off the fastball with a breaking ball to prove you can throw it, then you're in trouble. And then if you don't throw your fastball for strikes and you're, inconsistent with it, you're really in trouble. When hitters can minimize the doubt that they have, a doubt factor, that makes them that much better of a hitter.
Escobar did not like that last call. It's 2-1.
That was borderline. He caught a break.
Out of play down the right side.
When you have that one pitch you can throw consistently you have to throw it for a strike. You can't be inconsistent with the one pitch. He tried early to throw a breaking ball. He did the second pitch to Moustakas, and then he ended up popping up the third pitch.
Again, it's fouled back out of play. Now, part of the problem for Zach has been his ability to command a secondary pitch. It's not that he can't throw him, not that he doesn't have him, but if he doesn't throw it for a strike, he won't throw it again.
Now, he won't, but when you get into a situation here where it can hurt you, he doesn't want to get beat with his second best pitch because he's going to get second guessed, so you stay with your fastball. Gomes called for a breaking ball there, and he didn't throw it. He shook him off. There's a cutter.
Yep.
That's not the breaking ball, but it takes something off the fastball. That's a pitch he's learned a little bit. You'll see it's not a big break to it, but that was in a pretty good spot. But this guy got to it to foul it off. The cutter is still 88, 89, even though he throws it. It's just off the fastball, so you have to locate it. A changeup. I would love to see him throw a changeup if you can't throw that curveball consistently. Something to back off the 95.
I think ideally they'd love to see him develop a splitter.
Well,
he just doesn't have the confidence to be able
whether
to throw it.
Whether it's a splitter, a changeup, a breakable, something off speed. But off that 95 that you can throw for strikes.
Well, he's worked himself into a serious jam here.
Well, he's got to throw a strike here.
3-2 pitch.
And he helped him out.
Baby. Popped him up. Infield fly rule in effect. 2 down.
Well, there you go. He got help from Escobar, who got himself out. And Francona coming right out to make the move, and I don't blame him. There it is up there. It's ball 4. He swings at it, and you can see his frustration, throws the bat down. He would have walked the bases loaded.
McAllister goes 2/3 inning. 2/3 of an inning, allows 2 hits. He's out, and I believe it's Brian Shaw, but I'm not sure.
It is.
So Brian Shaw will be coming on when we come back. .6:30 with Indians live. First pitch at 7 right here on Sports Time Ohio. By the way, Carlos Beltran broke up Erasmo Ramirez's no-hit bid down in Tampa. They're in the 8th. It's still a scoreless game. Brian Shaw with 2 on, 2 out, facing Alex Gordon. Gordon homered in the first, singled in the third, struck out in the 6th. And it goes to the backstop, runners at 2nd and 3rd. He did that, I think it was just the other night.
Yes, he did. Come in and you let the runners get into scoring position on a first pitch. It was the same thing. He tugged that cutter or slider, goes to the backstop. I think it was Thursday night he did that.
Pulls it foul. And it's 1-1. Kansas City's got a solid ball club and a good lineup, deep lineup, but getting Alex Gordon back has to be really big for them.
Yeah, in more ways than one. I mean, offensively, you talk when he comes in, he lengthens that lineup out, but defensively, I mean, he's probably the best left fielder in this league.
Just missed. Gordon missed almost 2 months with that groin injury. And it was a severe one.
Yeah, did you see it? The terror.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, in some ways, I know they're young guys, but it's amazing that in 2 months' time you could come back from that kind of an injury.
A lot of hard work. Trainers do a tremendous job getting them back. Well, coming down to another big pitch here in this inning. Base hit can cut it to 4-3.
Slowly chopped to third. Urshela off balance throw. Pulled him off the bag. Royals get a run and the inning continues. And for one of the first, if not only times this year, Urshela misfires on a throw to first.
Well, he was on the run, and I think he might have had a little more time than he thought. He got rid of it awfully quickly. He would know. But you see, he comes in, takes it, and he continues on the run, and it pulls Santana off the bag. So Gordon will be credited with an infield single. They cut the lead in half now. It's a 4-2 game. Still runners at first and third. That run belongs to McAllister.
Ben Zobrist, the batter, 0 for 2 with a walk. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Zobrist has been a great pickup for these guys. He has fit into this club nicely. Plays all over the place. Was playing a lot of the outfield when Gordon was out. Now back at second base.
Swung on and missed. He went down and in on him.
Yeah. Got him to swing over that pitch.
Kansas City leads all of baseball with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. A dangerous, dangerous team. But Brian Shaw with a chance to get out of the mess here. The 1-2 slowly
Again,
chopped
they're gonna
towards
try.
third. Urshela with a bare hand grab, but no play. It's a 1-run game.
How about that? Another infield hit. This one he had no chance at. Playing back, a couple of strikes on him. So it's a 4-3 game. Those 2 runs belong to McAllister. And
that
they
ball
just
hit in
topped it.
foul territory.
Yeah, they topped it.
And it goes right up the line. My goodness. Well, Lorenzo Cain is the 7th man to bat in the inning, and he's 2 for 3 on the night. It's getting dicey. A 1-run game. Royals have actually out-hit the Indians now 9-7. 4 of the hits coming in this inning. The last 2 never got beyond the grass of the infield.
He takes a healthy first
sure
hack.
Does, man. He didn't leave anything to the imagination.
1 for 11 in his career against Brian Shaw. Struck out 4 times. You would never think so the way he swings it.
And that's fouled back 0-2.
Now we'll see if he cuts it down like he did earlier in the game in his first at-bat against Carrasco, where he got the base hit to right field.
2 on, 2 out. Shaw's 0-2 pitch. Out of play. Royals have scored 2 in the inning to cut the Indians' lead to a single run. Shaw with the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs. And all of a sudden, Shaw, he's made 14 pitches.
Well, yeah, think about this. You go back to the last hitter that McAllister faced. Escobar got himself out swinging at ball 4. Then they had the couple of infield singles. They still hold a 1-run lead and hoping to get this third out right now.
Back out of play. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball popped in the air to center. Almonte makes the catch. Royals get 2, leave 2. 4-3 Cleveland. We've reached the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World.
District tickets presented by Sports Time Ohio. They're going quickly, so get yours today. Tickets available only at Indians.com.
Well, we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Kansas City will go back to their bullpen. Flamethrower Kelvin Herrera after Chris Young worked a scoreless 6th inning.
Yeah, but they're back into the ball game now. It's just a 1-run game, so Herrera coming on to try and keep it that way. His 64th appearance, 2.48 ERA. Herrera was charged with Friday night's loss in Baltimore. That was his 3rd of the year, surrendering a rhyme hold grand slam coming in the 8th inning. They hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning.
Yeah, that was a
Baltimore in that game.
10-run inning, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. That certainly was.
Yeah, that was a rough series for Kansas City. They gave up 28 runs in the 3 games.
Well, that ballpark, it can yield it. Look out.
Uh-oh.
That got in a hurry.
Yeah, you can see Lindor's reaction. Unfortunately, I think he saw it. He is not. Yeah, you can tell by the look on his face. Boy, that's tough. Nothing you can do, but he feels just absolutely awful.
Well, there isn't anything you can do, but it's frightening. You foul a ball off and you watch it go into the seats and it gets somebody. It's hopefully everybody will be okay.
Now the 0-2 outside. Chased one in the dirt, strikes him out. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, up comes Michael Brantley. Brantley's had a good night, 2 for 3, couple of singles. Missed outside. Michael Brantley's got his 3rd hit of the night, and that's going to split him and go to the wall. Kane kind of haphazardly jogs after it. Gordon ends up coming to get the ball, and Brantley, after a big turn at second, holds with a 1-out double.
Boy, Michael took a 97-mile-an-hour heater the other way. Gets his 44th double, and he's been locked into left center tonight. His first one a little flare, but that's thank you very much. I'll take it. Next one, a ball down. He hits right to Gordon, and this one he plugs the gap at 97. That one was elevated. He stayed on it, and look at, you're right, that ball shot by Kane. He's going to get it, but he gets help from his partner over there. Gets it in, so Michael 3 for 4, and there's a run, a big run out there for the Indians. Try and get him in and respond to that 2-run top half of the 7th.
Santana singled through the left side of the infield his last time up, takes ball 1 outside. That's off the dish.
Well, Santana, no luck against Herrera.
Chased one down, and it's 2-1. There's a good fastball at 98 inside corner, and Santana thought it was off the plate. So it's 2-2. Upstairs, full count. Lonnie Chisenhall will be up next. Ball 4, he missed outside. So 2 on, 1 out, and Lonnie coming up.
Lonnie with a good night tonight. 2 for 2, a couple of ribbies. Had the sac fly back in the 5th inning. That plated the 4th run for the Indians.
Lefties are only batting $146 against him.
Well, it's catch up to that, and he also has a changeup. Oh, and by the way, he also has a slider if he wants to throw it too. You have to sit fastball. But Lonnie has good numbers. Santana didn't have a hit. He ended up walking him. Lonnie 4 for 10.
Well, I mean, he's thrown 14 pitches, 7 balls, 7 strikes. But like you said, guy's throwing 100 miles an hour. I don't know how you just lay off sometimes.
Well, that's the tough thing. You have to make him bring his fastball down. You can't swing at it anywhere near the belt, or you're not going to catch up to it for sure.
You got to make that decision.
Hopefully he gets it down. But, yeah, I know. There's, you know, you may have a little track record with him. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes, I don't know. Some guys that hit this guy, it's hard to believe. There you go, 96 away. You foul it off, but now you're down in the count. And this is where he can attack you and do different things if he wants to.
The 1-2. Upstairs. And so here is the problem for Herrera tonight, and that is his inability to just consistently throw strikes. 8 balls, 8 strikes. But most of them have been in the red zone. Run.
Yeah, they usually are.
Lonnie with a base hit in the right field, coming around third. Brantley will try to score. Rios up with it. His throw to the plate. Not in time. Lonnie Chisenhall with his 3rd hit, his 3rd RBI, and the Indians extend their lead to 5-3.
Well, Lonnie, what a night he's had. This one he gets a changeup. This is the changeup, but he's able to pull it in the hole. You know, you're geared for that fastball, and it was away. It was not a bad pitch. Lonnie beats him on a good pitch right there, turning and rolling over on that ball, which finds the hole. Brantley off and running. Rios tried to make the throw all the way in the air. Chisenhall 3 for 3, 3 ribbies, and they come right back and answer. What a great inning. Good night.
Yan Gomes 0 for 3 will be the batter. He hammers one. Right center field in the alley. Carlos Santana will score. Chisenhall right on his heels. He'll score 2. Gomes delivers a game breaker. A 2-run double up the alley in right center field. It's a 3-run 7th for the Indians.
Yeah, right there. That's a great job. Boy, you talk about coming right back and taking advantage of the moment, the situation. Gomes plugs the gap in right center field. They are off and running. And Herrera got the leadoff strikeout to Lindor, but he hasn't been able to get anybody else out in this inning. So Mike Sarbaugh easily scores Chisenhall from first. It's a 7-3 ball game. Seventh inning on. There's Gomes again, isn't it?
He has been big late in games for this club.
349 average, 26 ribbies. He's got to program it in his mind that it's a seventh inning every time he goes into the batter's box.
Almonte chases the ball down low. Quickly, the count 0-2 on Abraham Almonte.
Indians 10 hits on the night, 7 runs. They've been able to score in 5 of the first 7 innings. The only times they did not score, the second inning and the 6th. And this is the big one because they put a crooked number up there. Chisenhall, great night.
Almonte got a piece of that to stay alive. Well, Rick, in addition to the way they've played at specific points in this game, just in general, good to see him bounce back after a disappointing end to the doubleheader last night. Now, they played so good in the first game, won it going away, and then kind of got trounced in game 2. But they put it behind him quickly.
Well, you've got the team you have to beat coming in, and that certainly motivates them. And they have no time to take any inning off, any game off. You got to win every inning, every situation, and right now every game. So that's exactly the way they have to play the rest of this year.
Almonte with a bouncer towards second. And they'll throw him out. 2 away. Indians now 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Back in the 4th inning, Giovanni Urshela shot one to the bleachers. And it gave the Indians at that time a 3-1 lead. His 6th home run of the season.
Yeah, they hit a couple of homers tonight. 2 times that Volquez walked somebody, they cashed in. Make that 3 times because they did it once this inning on Santana's walk.
High pop, shallow left. Out goes Escobar, the shortstop, called off by Gordon. And that'll end the inning. But the Indians get a clutch hit. One from Lonnie Chisenhall, a big one from Yan Gomes, and their lead is 7-3.
The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Stay tuned for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It's coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Al and Jensen will have the highlights, break it down for you, get you all caught up on what you may have missed. Tribe leads by 4. Kyle Crockett will come on to pitch the 8th. He's got Eric Hosmer, then a switch hitter, and then Mike Moustakas, a left-handed batter. So Jeff Manship is up in the bullpen for the Indians if needed. Eric Hosmer gets after the first pitch, and it's fouled out of play. Twins still lead the Tigers 7-0. They're in the 5th at Target Field. Angels, another team the Indians are chasing in that wild card hunt. They'll be in action in Seattle in about 10 minutes. Astros lead the Rangers 2-1. They're in the 6th in Arlington.
What did he do to his right hand, the bottom hand? It looked like it slipped off the bat.
Well, some of these guys barely.
Well, you know,
have a hand
you can
on
see
the
there's not much of a handle there. It looks like at the bottom, and it came off as he was swinging.
Let's see where does he hold it? Does he hold it?
Oh, it's down at the end. Yeah, sure he does. Maybe.
Yeah, he's got more on there than most. He went fishing and came up empty. Crockett gets a strikeout, 1 down. You know, some guys will lay that bottom of that bat in the middle of their palm.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, they will. Well, this one, it wasn't a strike right from the start, but he was able to get Hosmer to chase it.
Mitch Moreland, 2-run homer for the Rangers. They go in front of Houston 3-2.
That guy's having a nice year for Texas down there.
Just missed outside. And a strike is called. 1-1 to count. Just missed again. I mean, not by much. And Morales, give him credit. Good discipline. He struck out twice tonight, 0 for 3, but that one had the plate, and it gets called a strike. It's 2-2. Swung on and missed. He got him to chase and strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks for Crockett.
Well, you're coming down and in on the slider. Gets Morales to swing over the top. So Crockett 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts.
Picked in the dirt. The 1-0. That's hit hard and beats the shift. Moustakas with his first hit of the night. And a 2-out single here in the 8th.
Both teams now with 10 hits. Moustakas gets his first. And out comes Francona. Going to make the move.
Jeff Manship will get the call from the bullpen to come on and face Salvador Perez, with the Indians up 7-3 here in the 8th. Sports 1 tonight for complete highlights and analysis of today's Major League Baseball action and from the first weekend of the National Football League. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Thanks, Howard.
Did you happen to see if Lonnie Chisnall was the top play of the night last night?
I did not, but it should have been.
We were thinking it had to be, right?
As good as that catch was.
Tough to find a better catch than that. Had to get some consideration.
Oh, absolutely.
Jeff Manship, 26th appearance of the year. He's 1-0 with a 1.16 earned run average. He's got Salvador Perez at the dish, who's 2 for 3, 2 singles, and a run scored.
This is when Kansas City did it last inning. They were able to come and get it with 2 outs. They were both infield singles, both topped down the third baseline.
Now, see, it looked like Perez, when that side angle we had, when he gripped the bat, it looked like
all
his
the way
bottom
down,
hand,
yeah.
he had that bat, the barrel looking about in the middle.
It sure
is. His fingers over the end.
It doesn't look that long either.
Chops it to third. Urshela has it, and he'll easily flip it to second to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Cleveland 7, Kansas City 3.
Picked on a breaking ball there to drive himself in a run. Then hits a double, drives himself another run. How about a sacrifice fly? Had a great night. Not done yet. Gets a changeup to his liking, pulls it in. Brantley scores. So Lonnie 3 for 3. 3 RBIs. He scored a run.
I said at the outset of our telecast that if the early returns are any indicator, the Indians may have found their right fielder for next year. Who knows what the offseason is going to bring and how the offseason evaluation process will work. But Lonnie has put himself very much in the conversation to be the right fielder.
He brought his name back into play. Yeah. I agree. You know, he's arbitration eligible next year. He certainly looks very comfortable out there. He looks like a different player than what he was when he went down. So I would not be surprised to see him out there next year whatsoever.
Jose Ramirez fouls one back.
You know, it really has been different with all the changes, and after the trading deadline, they get rid of the veterans. These kids have come out and they brought a different type of energy and a play to play. But sometimes you just because what you see, it can be in a mirage. You can't take it all face value, you know, because when you're out of it, sometimes I've seen it work that way where people look like, hey, here we go, they're ready to go and they can play, but.
That's why I think this has been important, because they have been fighting for something. It's not just, oh, well, who cares? There's no pressure. They are playing every game.
You've got a lot of young kids that are playing for jobs. Yes, they do. You're right. They have to earn it. I mean, competition is what makes it go around. The pitching has been pretty solid for them most of the year, and they've held them in games. Their problem have been scoring runs.
But I think more to your point, track record means something. It stands for something.
Yeah, it does.
What have you done over the course? I know you had a good year, but is that representative of what you're going to be in the future, or is that maybe?
Is that just a 6-week or a 2-month trial basis? I mean, come on, you gotta wait and see. It's been a lot more fun for fans, for us, for everybody, and even for these guys to play. They were terrible at home for the first part of this year. They've ended up. They're coming back. They're scoring runs. They've been fun to watch at home. They have a renewed confidence. You know, it's been a treat to watch these guys.
Ramirez shoots one to deep left. Back goes Gordon. It's over his head. Makes a strong throw, but it's offline, and Ramirez goes into second base with a leadoff double.
You know, here's a guy right here that started the year as a shortstop. Had to get sent back down. You bring up Lindor. Lindor's been unbelievable, and now you've got this guy playing as a utility guy. He's playing second base. He's playing the outfield. He's doing whatever he can. Still only hitting about 200, a little over. But he brings a little, energy to the team. He can run a little bit. He's got very good range at second base after playing shortstop. And he can run in the outfield. Now, whether he plays out there, I don't know. This guy could take, Micah Villas's place next year, possibly.
Jason Kipnis, 1 out of 4 with a home run. That was back to lead off the game. Looks at a ball outside. By the way, with all the young players that are here, like Lindor, like Urshela, Jose Ramirez. The Columbus Clippers tonight won their playoff game 5-0. They've advanced to the Governor's Cup International League Championship Series. They'll start that tomorrow against Indianapolis, so congratulations to the Clippers.
I didn't know they had a team left. We brought everybody up from there. But congratulations is right. Well, you fill them up. You bring them up from AA. That's what you do. You call them up from AAA. You bring them up to AA.
What do we got here? Oh, something in the on-deck circle. They want cleaned up. One down. Francisco Lindor has walked twice, scored 2 runs. Let's go down to Andre. Maybe he knows who's playing in Columbus.
Well, it's just funny that Rick just said you have to call guys up sometimes. Remember this name, Mike Clevenger. Pitched 7 2/3 tonight of no-hit ball in his first start in AAA.
Nice.
And that was his AAA debut to get him to the Governor's Cup. So
what a way
remember
to
that
go.
name, Mike Clevenger.
Wow.
Will do.
That's like Bull Durham. Announce your presence with authority.
Well, you come in there, you pitch it, and when it counts, no hitter for 7 and what did he say, 2/3? That was awesome.
Now the 1-1. And Lindor able to check on a ball inside.
Everybody else will be shut down for innings.
Cody Allen up. Not a save situation at the moment. But with nobody else throwing, it would appear that he will come in and pitch tonight. I thought maybe he was just up as a backup plan for somebody else who might come on, but I didn't see anybody else out there.
Get a couple more runs, and maybe he won't have to come in.
Unless Manship, who only faced one batter, will come back out to start the ninth. There's a long fly ball to deep right field. Rios running out of room. It is off the top of the wall.
Keep going. Lindor quit.
Lindor's around second. He doesn't know. He thinks it's a home run.
Yeah, he does.
He'll stop at third. A run is in, but he thought it was a home run. We might get a review on this.
Yes, I think you might be right. He was cruising.
The umpire, Corey Blazer, immediately signaled ball's in play, not a home run. Lindor, though, was already in his home run trot going around second base.
It looked like Rios and the ball got to the wall at the same time. Now, I don't know. We'll get a look at it right here and see what happened. Rios goes up. Oh, my goodness. It hit the top of the wall and came back into play.
Sure did.
So it's going to be a triple. That is not a home run. You can't get any closer than that.
That literally hit the top of the
That's a great shot, boys. They'll look at it, but I'll tell you what, it's going to stand. It'll go as a triple. It did not get out of the ballpark, but they get a run. I mean, one more inch. Look at Lindor wanted it. But we clearly saw that ball hit the yellow line and came back into play. No interference, nothing. This should not take long whatsoever.
Well, regardless, it's an 8-3 Indians lead.
Yeah.
And then Lindor is going to get the triple.
That's a good call right there. Didn't take long. They saw what we saw. Here we go. He got back to the wall right when it hit the top of the wall, came back into play. But the Indians add on, and now they've got Kansas City's going to have to pull the infield in.
You know, the sad thing is if he didn't think it was a home run, if he's running hard, that's
he
probably an inside-the-park home run.
Yeah, that's true. But you see, the first base umpire was on the first baseline. He did not see him with his hands out.
Yeah.
Instead of going like this. He trusted his own vision.
Yep.
And then he cruised, which is, I guess, okay. What are you supposed to do? You thought it was out. Free at bat for Brantley here. Yeah, there it is. Top of the wall. My goodness, another inch.
Brantley takes a strike. It's 1-1. Michael already has 3 hits tonight, 2 singles, a double, and a run scored. Yeah, he doesn't like that call. And it's 1-2. Him and Jeff Nelson have not been on the same page tonight.
Well, you know, the other time was high. This time it's low. He said something to him, and Nelson had a comment back as you see him lift that mask up so he could talk.
Yeah, he strikes him out. 2 away. Very seldom do you see frustration from Michael Brantley like that, but visibly upset by the call that put him in the hole and then ended up chasing a ball to strike out. 2 away for Carlos Santana. He has singled, walked twice, and scored a run. Rangers, Astros tied again, 3-3 now. They're in the 7th in Arlington. Yankees beat Tampa Bay by a final of 4-1. They were tied 1-1, I think, in the ninth.
No hitter.
Yeah. No hitter into the 8th for Erasmo Ramirez. broken up by Carlos Beltran, and then the Yankees end up winning it. Minnesota pummeling Detroit 7-0. They're underway in Seattle. Angels playing the Mariners tonight. Swung on and missed. If the Astros win, then the Indians could wake up tomorrow morning just 3.5 out in the wild card. The 2-2. Santana strikes out to end the inning, and we'll go to the 9th. It's now Cleveland 8, Kansas City 3.
Offense 3 for 3, 3 runs batted in.
Been a big reason why this offensive resurgence has been key. And then also, how about Gomer? Huge 2 RBI single.
We'll talk about this and more coming up on Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Let's head back upstairs. Here are Matt and Rick.
Thanks, Al. Jensen. It's a big lead for the Indians, so they'll stay with Jeff Manship. Cody Allen had been up in the bullpen, but an 8-3 game. Manship got the last out of the 8th inning. He's got Alex Rios, Alcides Escobar, and Alex Gordon due up. And a strike to Rios, who's 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Checked. Did he go? He did. It's 0-2. Hey, went down on strikes. Rios couldn't help himself. 1 away. Now Lindor has homered, or rather Urshela has homered. Lindor thought he had a home run to join his buddy. He had his head down thinking it was a home run trot, and Urshela saying, oh, no, no. No,
you got to hit it out of the park.
Swing and a miss by Alcides Escobar. 12 strikeouts tonight for Indians pitching. To right field, near the line. Lonnie. And can't get to it. Wow, he ran into that wall hard with his arm up. Hit that railing pretty good, but seems to be okay.
Not a lot of room in foul territory. That elbow got caught up on the railing.
All part of learning your new surroundings, how much room you have.
Mm-hmm.
Escobar down on strikes. 2 away. Looking back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. For Carlos Carrasco, it was all about location, and boy, was he good tonight. 9 punch-outs in 6 innings. Gave up just 1 run. And make Volquez get in the zone. I thought the offense did a really good job of making him work tonight. He was out after just 5 innings.
They scored 6 out of the 8 innings, man. They just kept coming at you. They never let up.
Second time this year they've scored in 6 different innings of a game, Rick.
Yeah, they never let up today.
The only other time it happened was back in Texas on May 16th when they beat the Rangers 10-8.
They answered every time Kansas City scored. That's the beautiful thing.
Gordon punches one into center field. So Gordon singles to keep the game alive. And it will bring up Ben Zobrist. Outside, ball 1. Tomorrow night it's Josh Tomlin and Chris Medlin. The pitching matchup. Tomlin looking to run his record to 6-1. Medlin trying to go to 4-1. Three balls, no strikes.
Can't get too fine now.
Bullseye, 3-1. Now a walk to Zobrist, pushes Gordon to second base and brings up Lorenzo Cain. This is the worst spot for a manager. You know, it's a 5-run game, but you don't want this to get out of hand in a hurry. So you might have to get somebody back up in the bullpen, and I would imagine it'll be Cody Allen.
Well, you still got a little wiggle room, but he got the first 2 strikeouts, and then, you know, a little base hit, nothing you could do there. Gordon just fought it off, hit it off the end of the bat. The walk right there hurts. You can let him hit his way on, but there you'll see here up. Allen gets.
Now, he had been up before, so it probably won't take him more than a few throws to be ready if needed. Hopefully, they won't need him. Lorenzo Cain is 2 for 4 on the night. Just missed outside, ball 1. One ball, one strike. Only 10,356 here tonight, but they're on their feet. Hoping to see Manship close it out now. Two balls and a strike. High fly ball. Left field. The center fielder, Almonte, makes the catch, and that'll end the ball game. The Indians take the opener by a final of 8-3, and the Tribe is back to 500 at 71-71. Their last stay at the 500 mark only lasted about 4 hours. This one will at least last overnight. The Indians win it behind the strong starting pitching of Carlos Carrasco and the bat of Lonnie Chisenhall, who had 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. Clutch hit by Yan Gomes, a 2-run double in that 7th. Couple of home runs tonight by Jason Kipnis, Giovanni Urshela, and of course Michael Brantley with 3 more hits tonight, including a double and a run scored. 8-3 is the final. We'll be back with some final thoughts right after this.